Hi to all my first, second, and third grade art friends who are taking art with me for third quarter. I am so excited to work with you. I know I've checked in with quite a few of your classes, and I cannot wait to see the rest of you for our first day of art. This video is for our first art class. So if you are not attending live lesson this week because something else is going on, this is your first lesson. Our first day is basically just going to be orientation. I want to walk you through your supply bags and our schedule and make sure you know everything you need to feel confident and successful for art this quarter. First, let's talk about our schedule. We will not meet live on Mondays because teachers have afternoon classes that we take. It makes it unable for me to teach all of my classes. So Monday mornings are my office hour time because I teach straight through the entire day, Tuesday through Friday. So that Monday 10:30 to noon time is my office hours for all of the classes that I'm teaching. And you are welcome to pop in and join. I'm sharing the Google Meet link to my office hours on your Schoology landing page for art. So go ahead and click in on Monday if you have questions about turning in your work or completing your work or really anything art related. I also have some other little times throughout the day on Monday where I can plug in a one-on-one schedule time and possibly other times throughout the week. If you need to ask some specific questions or want to schedule a time to meet with me, just send me a message and let's go ahead and get that set up. We will meet together Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday every week. We're taking an entire year's worth of art classes and smushing them into one quarter. So we're going to be working to make art together Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But our schedule is going to be pretty similar to how we would work in the art room. So instead of working on one project over 4 to 5 art classes throughout like a month and a half, we're going to do that within the course of 1 week. So Tuesday we'll start with our lessons, and Wednesday will be our practice work and our assignment, and Thursday and Friday will be your time to complete your project. We'll still meet in our Google Meet for us to be able to talk about the project and get some reminders, and then you'll have the option to log off of your screen and work independently and quietly on your own, or you can stay in the Google Meet so that if you have a question that comes up, you can ask. You can also log out and then log back in before the end of your class if a question does come up during that work time. I will be in our Google Meet for the entirety of that class. But it's important that you still check in on those Thursday and Friday times right away because I will be taking attendance. Attendance is mandatory for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you should miss class for any reason, please let me know just so that I can make a note of it. I will always pre-record videos for each assignment so that you can never feel like you missed a class and cannot catch up. So just like you watch this video here, you'll also have videos here that will be your lessons for each week so you can follow along with all the steps of the project with the videos. For some of you, that might work even better. So just let me know if that is going to be your choice for how you'll work through arts. Or you can also check in and then go back and revisit videos on those Thursday and Friday times. It's important that you come to your art classes and your Google Meets on time and with all of your materials. So one of the things I'll be including in your Schoology art page for each week, you'll find a folder, and the first thing in that folder will be the schedule for that week. That schedule will break down what we will do each day and what supplies you're going to need from your supply bag. You should have picked up your supply bags with your teacher's stuff either before the end of winter break or on Monday, January 4th, depending on when your teacher did pickup time. We'll go over everything in your supply bag in just a moment. But in your schedules, I'm going to tell you the supplies that you need. So checking in on that schedule at the beginning of the week so you know what to bring and you can make sure that you show up on time and ready for our lesson to start promptly at the start of your art class. So let's go ahead and look at the supplies that are in your supply bag to get us started for our first 4 or 5 assignments this quarter. in each of your supply bags, there should be a front and back letter from me that goes over the basics of this year. This is kind of a lot of the information I'm covering in this video, but I want you to make sure that you pass this letter along to the adult at your house so the two of you can read it together so you understand expectations and schedule, and hopefully it answers any questions that you have right off the bat for getting started in our art course. So pull the letter out and make sure that you read it with your folks. Then inside the art bag, you will find a pencil, glue, scissors, crayons, and markers. Those are the supplies that we'll need to complete our first few projects. In addition to those, you'll find plenty of paper. The paper that I've provided is earmarked for specific projects, so do not start getting crazy on your own art with the materials that I've provided. If you want to pull out your markers to do a coloring book or something at home, you're welcome to use those, but do not use the paper. I did include a little bit of extra paper, but there are certain pieces that are definitely for specific assignments. So make sure that you hold on to this paper so you have it for your individual artwork. The other thing within your art supply bag that is important is your sketchbook. I put together just a little basic book with construction paper on the outside and then some work in the inside. The first handful of pages in here are some work that we'll work on together this week. And then after that are a bunch of blank pages. This is where you'll do the sketching and practicing for our art assignments. And you'll also be able to use that during some independent art time. Our schedule for each week will be Monday. We will not have a live Google Meet class. Instead, you can work on your sketchbook, and Mondays are also times set aside from your schedule for you to turn in your artwork. And I'll go over how to do that in just a moment. So Mondays, drawing and turning in work, and then Tuesday, lesson part number 1, Wednesday, lesson part number 2. Lesson part number 1 should be done before number 2. So if you missed Tuesday's class, please watch the Tuesday lesson videos in the Schoology week folder for that week to make sure that you have all the information before we move on to part 2. Then we will work on those Thursday and Friday classes together. So log in, use the Google Meet link. I believe your teachers are adding that into your clickable schedule as well. And then we'll get started on your work. To turn in your artwork virtually, we'll be using Artsonia. Artsonia is an online portfolio hosting website that I started for each of you last year, where I was taking pictures of your artwork to upload to your portfolio. You will be able to upload your own artwork into that portfolio as your way of turning in and submitting your assignments. This week, I'll be walking you through how to do that, how to use your tablets or your iPads to take a picture, and showing you how to do that within our classes. If you are not attending a live class this week, then you can use the Artsonia link. It says watch how to upload work to Artsonia on your Art Schoology page. And that is a tutorial video that will walk you through. The most important thing you need is our code. In order to access Artsonia, you'll be using our school code. Our school code is TBSR-NZSF. You should write that somewhere on the front or back of your sketchbook so that you always have that code handy. And I will always include it in the upload link as well. So you'll take a picture of your completed artwork with your device, and then you will click to the upload link. You'll type in the code, and the next question it will ask you is what grade you're in. So you'll select your grade level, and then you'll select your teacher name. From there, you'll see all the projects that have been assigned to you, and you'll click the plus sign above the project name, and then you'll attach your picture as your way of turning it in. Make sure the picture that you take is clear as possible so I can see each individual detail. We'll go over how to do this a number of different times. If Artsonia is too difficult for you to do, please reach out and let's talk about it and see if I can help you troubleshoot. But there are additional other options for turning in assignments. Number one, anytime you're turning in work for your classroom teacher, you can also turn in work for me. Simply include your name on your artwork, and then they'll pass it along to me. So I make sure I know whose work it is. If you're turning in work virtually, you don't need to turn in work in person. Virtual assignment submissions are perfect. Secondly, I also have a Google Voice number that I'll be giving to you all where you can text a picture of your work. Again, as you text a picture, make sure you include your name and your room number. Working with Artsonia for uploading is the best possible way. It will allow both you and I to double check that you've submitted for each assignment. And it just is the best organizational way to make sure that none of your artwork gets lost in the shuffle. But you can also turn it in person. You can turn it in via text. If you have access to a smartphone or your adult has a smartphone, there is an Artsonia app that you can download to your smartphone, which might make it easy to submit as well. Again, you just use the school code, logging in as a student, to then submit the artwork via the app. At the end of this video, I'm going to include a first drawing prompt. Utilize the rest of your art time today playing around in your sketchbook and drawing according to the prompt. Tomorrow, we'll get started with your first assignment. You'll need your sketchbook and a pencil as we start talking about Zentangles and patterns. Patterns will definitely be a review. And Zentangles are a really creative, artistic way of kind of a meditative drawing that uses patterns. So we'll play around with both of those and then we'll create some artwork with Zentangles and with our names. But to get started tomorrow, you will just need to bring your pencil and your sketchbook to our lesson. I'm really excited to work with all of you third quarter. I'm so excited for the projects that we're going to create together and all the fun that we're going to have exploring some new artwork together. If you have questions, please reach out to me. Use Schoology Messenger. I always check Schoology Messenger multiple times a day, and it's the best way to contact me. That's the little envelope icon at the navigation bar at the top. You can send me a message if you're having questions, and I should usually get back to you by the end of the school day. Also, that's how I'm going to be communicating with your classroom. So if something should come up and I need to cancel a lesson, I'll be sending a Schoology message to let you know. And I'll also be sending kind of weekly updates, information, reminders about projects, and reminders about turning in work. So make sure that you're keeping tabs on that Schoology Messenger little envelope so you don't miss any messages from me.